Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, welcome. It's lovely to see you. And if you're back, welcome back. We're here for the third session in my Bible series. If you haven't watched any of them, there are two other videos that you can go ahead and watch them just so you can catch up with where we are. But that's okay, you can watch them at the end as well. I drop a small snippet of these every week, so be sure to look out for them so you don't miss out. So this series is basically the story of the prodigal son, the lost son in the Bible, and I am giving you just short snippets of my points and my devotion on it so that you can understand what I got out of it. If you have read it before and you've learned something, it would be lovely for you to drop in the comments what you learned from the story. And if you've never, this is your chance to get to learn about it. So let's get into the video.
Do you ever feel you don't get out what you're putting in?
So today I'm only reading two verses, which is 17, 18, and we're going to end with 19. So just three. Okay, so when he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.'" This is actually a really good and sad part of the section. Good because I think it's a great part. It's the greatest part, one of the greatest parts of the story. When he came to his senses. I mean, guys, you've been doing things that you're not supposed to do. You've been living a life that you're not supposed to live, and finally you come to your senses. That's a nice part, but sad because then he feels very unworthy and would like to be called a servant. But let's just focus on the part when he came to his senses. Nothing bad goes on forever. We should know that, or maybe not. We haven't yet experienced that part. Okay, so nothing bad lasts forever. There's one of two things that can happen during a period of something bad. Either, like the lost son, we come to our senses, or it's too late for us. Those are the only two options. There's no other way here. The better of the two happened here. He came to his senses. That's why I'm saying this is a really good part about it. In verse 18, he has a clear view of what his wrong is. He can see. Remember in the previous week, we talked about his eyes were open. So now he has a clear view of what he's been doing. Now he can see that everything I've been doing was not fun life. It was actually wrong. And he says to his father, "I've been wrong towards you and towards God." We all have this point, or these points we realize, I am not living right. It comes maybe once in life. Hopefully it would come once, but unfortunately because of our sinful nature, we're in the world, and as long as we're in the world, this cannot happen once. We'll have it more than once where we come to the realization, I'm not living right. This is wrong. This is not life. This is not what life is meant to be. But sometimes we don't know what it is that life should be. That's where this comes in. That's where God comes in. This is what I'm trying to explain here. We can ignore this and keep going, or we can take it as a chance to go back to God. So God is our ultimate. At the end of the day, all we need is God. It might seem like we need self-sufficiency, you need riches, you need money, you need this formula in life, you need to get to know how to live your life well, you need to know the secrets to life, the 5 secrets to a happier life, you need to know, 5, 10, 20 secrets to whatever. You can get to know all of those things. You need to know how to get in tune with yourself. All of those things will get you a high for a while, and then you get the dip again, because all that we need is God. And until we realize that God is the ultimate, we will keep going round in circles trying to find fulfillment in this life. But gladly, when we get to a point when we realize, I'm not living right, like this prodigal son, then we're in the right track. So the two options each have an outcome, and you will only find out this after you choose. So the two options, either we choose God or we choose to carry on with our lives. There are two outcomes, and unfortunately you don't know the outcome until you choose, which is very difficult, because it's, if only we could see ahead and know that, okay, if I choose this path, then I'm going to end up here, here, and there. Or if I choose this path, I'm going to end here and here and there. There are some paths that we know. I am the way, the truth, and the light. No one comes to the Father except through me, says Jesus. So Jesus has told us where his path leads. You want to end up with the Father after you're dead, after this life is over. We don't just go into a trance when we're dead. If we want to end up with him, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Not one of the ways, not one of the truths. We don't have 101 truths. I have my own truth. You have your own truth. You have your own truth. The truth. So capital THE, the only truth. So there's not 100 truths, 100 paths, and we all get there eventually. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. So his way, if anyone comes through me, you get to the Father. So you want to get to the Father, at least we know where that path ends. But the other choices that we make, I'm not quite sure they will lead us to the Father, because this one is sure and has been told to us. Alright, so for today I will end here, and then please tell me what you've learned as usual. Please let me know. I love to hear your views. Please drop them below, positive, negative. If you've learned something, if you haven't, it's okay. Please just share them. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like it. It's gonna help me and other people. And I will see you in the next one.